Am I the a-hole for convincing my fiancé to cut off his family? My fiancé, 26M, has been having issues with his close family ever since his sister, 28F, had her first baby the first year of university, so it's been a while. I met him when we were both 19, so as you can imagine, I've seen my fair share of them as well during the years. The problem is, since she has multiple young children, his parents think she should always have priority, and they tend to drop every plan they have when she calls. They also expect us to do the same, which is the cause of the rift. Jackie, his sister, is just about the most immature person I know. She lives off of child support from one of her kids' dads, and what her parents give her monthly, and often asks for help, which is to say she forces her parents and us to babysit when she wants to go out without kids. What pushed us to make our decision is what happened last Saturday. We were supposed to go out for our anniversary. We had a nice dinner booked in a famous restaurant 2 hours from home, and tickets for a movie we actually wanted to watch. We were already driving, and my fiancé got a call from his mother to ask if we could babysit Jackie's kids. Boyfriend said no, we were away from home and not planning to return anytime soon. His mother said, and I quote, "Then come back. Jackie needs a babysitter and we can't always be the ones to help." My partner obviously got annoyed. He told her that she could pay a babysitter for Jackie's kids if she really needed one, then hung up. They spent the entire evening first arguing about how we never helped the family, and then guilt-tripping us because Jackie had to cancel her plans, and she is a tired single mum, and we owe her some help. When we returned home eventually, me and my fiancé had a discussion about this. He brought up how he was so tired of their shitty attitudes. And since moving away is not possible for us, I told him that maybe it was time to cut them off and show them what not having help really means. We've sacrificed plenty of days for his sister's kids in these years without so much as a thank you, and frankly, I'm at my limit. It didn't take long for him to agree, because we've discussed this with them before and they've never changed their attitudes. So we sent a long text in the family group about our decision, highlighting how we feel exploited and how we never agreed to have our lives revolve around Jackie's kids. Then we blocked them everywhere we could think about. These past days, at least for me, have been blissful. However, I can tell my boyfriend has been a bit gloomy, and I can't help but think that I shouldn't have gotten involved. Am I the a-hole? Should I have just stayed out of this? No, I don't think that her having babies should have to affect your lives. Anytime you decide you can help should be appreciated and not expected. If your parents can't respect that and constantly berate you about it, then you probably did the right thing. Listeners, let me know what you think in the comments. Am I the a-hole for leaving a drunk girl alone at a bar? This involves me, 32M, Matt, 30M, Matt's girlfriend Lisa, 28F, and her friend Jane, 20s. 2 days back, it was Matt's birthday. He invited me and a few of our friends to a small birthday dinner at this restaurant, which is kind of also a bar. The plan was to eat, drink and chill. Matt's girlfriend Lisa also invited a few of her own friends. It was a group of around 15 people. I mostly hang out with my own friends and Matt, and Lisa's friends hung out with her. One of Lisa's friends, Jane, kept trying to talk to me throughout the evening. It was kind of awkward for me, as I'm an introvert, and the conversations with her felt like they were going nowhere. At around 12, I decided to head back home. Jane came up to me and told me that even she wanted to go back home. I was like, okay, cool. Then she asked me if I could drop her off at her house. I asked her where she lived and she told me some address that wasn't even on my way, so I said she could ask someone else to drop her off. She asked me if I was sure that I couldn't, and I was like, yeah, absolutely. She was visibly drunk, but I figured she had like a group of friends, so someone would give her a ride. Also, I was tired as and just wanted to go home and sleep. The next morning, I woke up to some very angry messages from Lisa. She was furious at me for leaving Jane alone at the party. Apparently, they all assumed since I was hanging out with her, I would have the decency to drop her back home. I told her that I talked to Jane for a total of like 15 minutes in the entire 3 to 4 hours, and I don't understand why everyone wanted me to be her personal chauffeur. All of her friends obviously think I'm a huge a-hole. Matt has decided to stay neutral on this. I think it sounds like Lisa is trying to pass the blame for leaving her friend without making sure she had a way home. But there's an update, so let's see what happened next. Lisa entirely stopped talking to me after the incident. Not that we were even really that close before. Matt was also being distant, but whatever. I got busy with work and forgot about it. A week after the incident, Matt texted me saying he needed a favour. He said he wanted me to apologise to Jane. I was like, F no, I'm not apologising to her. Matt said that he knows it's not my fault, and he's tried explaining that to Lisa, but she's adamant that I was an asshole to Jane and made Lisa look bad in front of her. Apparently, Lisa gave Matt an ultimatum saying that if I don't apologise to her and Jane, Matt needs to cut me off. This honestly was some toxic high school BS that Lisa was taking part in. I told Matt the same thing, but he was really desperate and pathetically sad, so I agreed to text Jane and apologise. I texted her something along the lines of, "Hey, sorry I didn't drop you off at your place like you asked. I was really tired and wasn't thinking. My bad." Then she replied with, "It's alright, don't worry about it." But this apparently made Jane think that I'm interested in her or something, and I felt like an absolute idiot for agreeing to apologise. She started texting me. A lot. In the beginning, I gave monosyllabic replies, but then her texting increased, and I straight up went with, "Please stop texting me, I'm not interested." This hurt her, and she snitched about it to Lisa. Again, high school BS. Then Lisa started threatening Matt to go no contact with me. They fought about this non-issue for like a week, and this made Matt realise that Lisa is really toxic, and they broke up. Jane hasn't tried contacting me either, so life is peaceful. Matt should have cut her off the first time. It's such pathetic behaviour. World's worst wing woman. Throws a tantrum until he dates you. Am I the a-hole for telling a woman where she can and can't give birth? This is one of the strangest things that's ever happened to me. To set the scene, I, 26, bought the house I'm living in 2019 from this lovely older couple. I thought, as I'm sure anyone who's ever been in this situation might think, that the signing was going to be the last time I ever see them, or had anything to do with their family. I was wrong. Yesterday, I got a knock on my door. I opened it to find a young couple, probably my age, maybe a bit younger. The woman was pregnant, and looked like she was going to pop any day. I asked who they were and if I could help them. The woman replied that this home used to belong to her parents, and that she was born in this house. I asked again what it was they wanted, since that didn't really tell me if they needed anything from me. She told me that her mother had also been born here, in the upstairs bedroom. For context, that's now my bedroom. She then asked if I wouldn't mind letting her bring the stuff that was needed to give birth to do it in the same spot that her and her mother were born. I said no, keeping in mind that A, this isn't her or her parents' house anymore, and B, that the bedroom in question is my bedroom. Now, I thought this was as normal a response as was possible given the strange situation, but when I was telling my friends about it this afternoon, one of the girls in the friend group said that it was pretty cruel of me to tell a pregnant woman where she can and can't give birth. I didn't think what I said was that strange, considering I've never met these people and I don't exactly want a strange woman giving birth where I sleep. But my friend insists that I could have come to some sort of arrangement. So here I am asking you guys, am I the a-hole? In the comments, Mother Search says, "Your friend is an idiot. You didn't tell her where she can give birth. You told a complete stranger that she can't give birth in your house, in your bedroom. Not the a-hole." Agreed. It's a ridiculous request and you would have been brain dead to let her do that. Further down, OP does leave another comment where they say, "I got an email back from the previous owners. I got their info from the realtor who sold me the house, and it turns out, yes, they have a daughter. Yes, apparently she is pregnant, and they've cut her off for being a bit on the crazy side." That makes a lot more sense. Am I the a-hole for suing my neighbour after their kid trespassed and fell into my koi pond? I, 22M, have a koi pond in my backyard. It's not just any koi pond. It's a full-blown, personally designed Japanese garden with a bridge, waterfalls, and koi that cost more than my car. I'm talking $1,000 for a single fish. Maintaining this pond is my pride and joy. I've put years into this hobby and my yard is securely fenced with no trespassing signs everywhere. Enter my neighbour, Karen. Karen has a son, let's call him Timmy, 8 years old, who is notorious for wandering into people's yards uninvited. I've talked to Karen multiple times about this and she just brushes it off as kids will be kids. Last week, while I was out running errands, I got a frantic call from Karen. Apparently, Timmy climbed over my fence to feed the fish, even though I have explicitly told him to stay out. In doing so, he slipped, fell into the pond, and destroyed part of my carefully maintained ecosystem. Several of my prized koi died due to the stress, and the filtration system was damaged because of the debris Timmy kicked in. Luckily, Timmy wasn't seriously hurt, just a few scrapes, but Karen has been demanding I pay for his medical bills. She claims my pond is an attractive nuisance and that I should have had a cover or something to prevent kids from falling in. I argued that 1, it's a private, fenced property, and 2, her son had no business being there in the first place. When I refused to pay, Karen lost it and started bad-mouthing me to the whole neighbourhood, calling me heartless and a terrible person. I've since filed a lawsuit against her for the cost of the koi, the damage to the filtration system, and the repairs to my pond, over $5,000 in total. Some of my friends think I'm taking it too far, saying he's just a kid, but others agree that Karen should have been watching him better. So Reddit, am I the a-hole for suing my neighbour after her kid trespassed and destroyed my koi pond? I mean, you literally did everything you could to keep him away from there. Sure, he's just a kid, but he needs to learn his lesson. You should absolutely not be expected to absorb $5,000 in damages because she can't be bothered to teach her kid to respect other people's property. Let me know what you think in the comments, but let's be honest, OP is definitely not the a-hole. Thanks for watching and thanks for listening. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this, and I'll see you in the next episode.